What's up, everybody? Welcome to Narco Cop MMA, and this is the Lambo Plays podcast, episode 95. We are 5 away from the big 100 here. This is UFC St. Louis. I'm your host, Mike, along with my co-host here, Timothy Troiano. Timothy, UFC St. Louis, we lost the fight, 12 fights on this card. It's Luis Nascimento in the main event. For me, honestly, I think it's a pretty good matched up UFC, regular non-pay-per-view card. What do you think of this card?
Yeah, I agree. There's a bunch of binary fights. There's some fights with guys that you kind of, what they do almost every single fight. And I think there's some solid prop lines too. So excited for this one.
Yeah, I mean, this one here, I feel like there's going to be a decent amount of violence, but I also think there's going to be a lot of fights that go the distance as well. So maybe it's a mix here. Before we start up here, let me go over to my chat. MMA Goulash, he's attending his first live UFC event in his hometown, looking for a lot of violence tomorrow. Congrats, man. Have fun. Mushroom is in the house. Elijah Juan, what's up, my friend? Thanks for joining. Andrew Peden says, pretty decent card. Looking forward to the premiere breakdown show, and a belated shout out to the great Cornholio impression a few weeks ago. Tim really took the show to the next level. Appreciate you, Andrew. Thank you very much. Lois says, staying up all night again in London. Appreciate you, my man. Thank you for staying up and being here with us. There will be blood, says, let's effing go. Joshua says, it is Friday. Be real. Rest in peace, Bleed. Exactly, guys. Rest in peace, Bleed. I'll say a quick little thing. I posted it on Twitter, guys, for anybody that didn't see it. Bleed MMA, I never really interacted with the guy, but just having his wife post on his Twitter about him passing away suddenly without them expecting it, leaving a daughter behind, man, that hurts a lot, man. It hurts me. And if you guys can donate to the wife, there's a GoFundMe there, anything. It doesn't have to be, a lot of money, anything that you can spare, right? Anything that you can give. If you can't give, then it's understandable. But yeah, man, it's a shitty situation. Norishi, I hope the Jewish better isn't a guest or I'm unsubbing. Dude, what is up with you, McKinney? Come on. Aussie fight fan, let's effing go. What's up, man? Miles, what is up? Frank Espinoza, let's get that money. Jackie Blaine, first week in the Discord. I 15x'd my money. Manchester and Paris, here I come. Oh, that was you. Oh, nice. You got those first class tickets after last week. Appreciate you, my man. Timothy Johnson, what is up, man? DA07, is the Energy Whisper bet today? Will he disappoint? We will get to that. Double Flush, what is up? Subhuman, what's up, gang? I haven't seen him in a while, I think. But thanks for joining. Mixed Gambling Artist says, time to get the Lambo. Yes, sir. Mr. Chico, good evening, my friend. Craig Crowley, what is up? Rashid, let's effing go. Azure, hey, guys, hit the like button at the beginning. Listen to this, man. Hit that like button in the beginning. I appreciate you. Jermaine says, Ricci round 3. We'll see. What is up, Luke? Sparring with reality in the house. What's up, my man? MMA Locksmith says, rest in peace, Bleed. So sad for sure. Yep. Big time sad. All right. 138 of you already in here. I expect this number to get close to 500. Tim, first fight of the night. It is in the flyweight division. It is the 13-6 JJ Aldrich versus the 8-4-1 Veronica Hardy. And this one, I will give it to you because I'm a nice guy. Go ahead.
It's a banger, right? Any JJ Aldrich fight is a banger. Yeah, man, I just think that that Hardy's like just a different fighter than she used to be. I just keep seeing her make improvements in her game. She's absolutely nothing like her, her first fights. She just seems to be getting better, more just physically working out, and you can tell that there's just a different body tone to her. JJ Aldrich is always kind of a fighter to me that is really tough to get behind in fights, just because she's she just always fights close. She really doesn't separate in fights, and she can be grappled, and she can be she's stuffed the takedowns against Erin Blanchfield, but still got subbed. So to me, I think that this is the tape, not the tape, but the Instagram posts for Hardy is her doing a bunch of physical work and a bunch of grappling. So I think that she's looking to grapple. I think that Hardy usually comes out too with her husband. It comes out with some good game planning. The fact that she was able to take down Horth in that fight was shocking to me. I thought that she was going to get just murdered physically in that fight, Horth being just way bigger and I thought to be way stronger. So I think there's a chance that Hardy could get some takedowns here. I don't know if it's going to be easy in the first round, but I think that also the Aldrich side tends to kind of wilt a little bit when things don't go her way. So I don't hate the Hardy by sub at 7-1, and I don't hate sub 2 is 25-1, sub 3 is 30-1. So don't hate it.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know. I hate this fight in general. I think Hardy wins by decision. Obviously, that's not good enough. The next closest thing is split decision for Hardy, right? It's 550. The split on this fight, I think, is like plus 250.
It's gross. Yeah, it's gross.
So don't touch that. I think Hardy's going to win. So I'm just going to little small sprinkle Hardy split. I hate this fight in general, to be honest. I'm staying away. I just think she's going to have a decent speed advantage. She's a lot better with her footwork. I don't like Aldrich. Like Aldrich is too plotty. And if you look at Aldrich's career, honestly, it's pretty like she's a striker, right? But outside of Erin Blanchfield, all her other losses are to strikers. Like Mazo outstruck her, Lipsky outstruck her, Barber knocked her out. So every time she's faced strikers, she's losing. Yeah, I mean, look at her wins, man. Na Liang, Montana De La Rosa, who's a grappler, decided to strike all of a sudden.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then Jillian Robertson, obviously, she's a grappler. Demopoulos is a grappler. So when she has success stuffing takedowns against these grapplers, she wins, right? And now she's going to face a girl that's just a lot faster, I think is a little better overall in the striking when it comes to, her kicking game and her punches. So, yeah, man, Hardy split plus 550. She might even win it unanimously, to be honest, but that's just the one that's closest to what I think the outcome is going to be, which is Hardy decision. Fight number 2. It is in a flyweight division. It is the 10-2 Jake Hadley versus the 14-6 Charles Johnson. I will kick this one off. I gave this out to Discord earlier. If you have DK, now the line's obviously up. It's gone up, but I think there's still a lot of value on it. They starting to give out under fight props. They're starting to give out significant strike props and over under on takedowns. They had Johnson at 43.5 significant strikes, which is insane. I think he cruises over that number against Hadley. And even now, what was it, Tim? You said
53.5 is minus.
Minus 150. Minus 150.
Yeah, I might wait until it goes to 54 and then take the 150.
Yeah, I kind of still think it's happening, man. I mean, just look at Charles Johnson, 76 against Maxim, where he absolutely got destroyed in round 1. He didn't even get a fucking strike off in round 1, 72 against Estevam, even though he had his back taken for like 2.5 rounds. It's Cody Durden had 11 fucking takedowns, and he still had 52 significant strikes. It's like Hadley's not going to get a lot of takedowns. I'm just pretty certain of that. So if that's the case, like I think he should cruise over the significant strike mark. Anyway, with that being said, so looking at Hadley, honestly, at the weigh-ins, this guy cuts a lot of weight. And if you listen to, shout out to my boy Dan Levy, he had Cody Durden on his fight, on his breakdown. And he's saying that when he talked to Hadley, Hadley tells him he walks around 160 plus. So the dude is cutting 30 fucking 5 pounds to get to this weight class, bro. Like, that's a lot of weight when you're talking about flyweight, man. You're not talking about heavyweights cutting weight or you know, a light heavyweight. You're talking about flyweights, bro. These guys are already drained. They're grown men cutting to 125, bro. It's insane. And so this guy, when you look at him, like, he's fucking muscular as shit. He's big, you know, he's got to be killing himself to make 125, honestly. And the one thing I realized, if you listen to his interview after the fight with Cody Durden, what did he say? He said, man, the weight cut was so horrible. I was drained. I was this and that. You know, he's talking about his weight cut, how bad it was. And it fucked him up in that fight. Well, what the heck is the difference again? I mean, you're back. You're still the same guy with the same muscle mass, it looks like. And you're still cutting down to 25. And when I looked at him on the scale, bro, yeah, he made it easy, but it just looked like he was fucking drained, dude. And the thing is, it's bad to be drained against Charles Johnson. He's going to come for 3 rounds. We've seen it over and over again. The question is this freaking guy going to finish? And that's my boy, CJ. I can't help myself, but always bet his round 2-3 prop. I can't help myself. I have to do it. I have to, bro. So many times it's been so close. Imagine I don't play it now, Tim, and it hits in this fight. I would freaking get so upset. So, dude, it's 1,600 on Hard Rock. It's 2,200 on Bet365. I'm playing 2-3 again, man. I'm going to the well again. You know, especially in this fight where I think it's going to be standing for a lot of it. Johnson teeps a lot to the body. You know, he's got a good work rate, good knees in the clinch. I do think Hadley's live to hurt him, to be honest, because I do think Hadley has a lot of power. But we've seen the recoverability. We've seen the guy. I mean, he was nearly dead in that last fight. And after getting hurt and stung like that in a deep ass freaking anaconda and still got out, bro. Like, guy is, you know, he's tough. He's durable. He's got good cardio. You know, I like Hadley. I think Hadley has all the tools, but fucking this 125 weight class it's too big of a cut for this guy. So I think he's killing himself because of that. So I'm going to go right back to the well, man. Johnson 2-3, 16, 2,200. Tim, what do you got?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with pretty much all of your breakdown. I would add that Hadley looks like 28 days later, like an absolute zombie in that picture that I saw. He looks as sucked out as you could possibly be. He's got like the little bumps from where you could see the needle that's been injecting him with steroids, it seems. So yeah, I mean, I've just, you know, I had a big bet on money line and on decision for Nascimento versus Hadley. Just like another same thing. It's just like a kind of a grappler. He's not a terrible boxer at all. Does have good power, like you're saying, but he wants to grapple guys, and he's kind of like got that. I just call it all the time, like that Euro trash grappling, dude. Like that, you're like that, just not that powerful, not that strong. Wrestling isn't really that great. But he wants to fight on the ground. So it's like, he's just been, this is where Durden fucked him up. And this is why Nascimento fucked him up. I just think there's certain guys that he's going to be okay against, but I don't think that Charles is going to be easy for him to grapple. Do we know if Charles has that thing in the back of the back hair right now? He still does. Is it kind
skullet? It's called the skullet.
Skullet. Okay. Makes me a little bit more bearish, but all right, we're gonna go round 3 and decision. So decision is a used Corolla. It's plus 200. It's actually what I think happens in the fight. But I think 2-1 is solid for Johnson. And I have round 3 as well. So I just think round 3. I mean, the problem is that he just doesn't pick up the pace until round 3, and then sometimes he doesn't even pick it up that much in round 3. So I mean, I'm with you there. It's been a pile of money burning on these late round props, so we can't miss it 20-1. All we got to do is hit one, and then it evens off. At 20-1, we've missed him like 5 times. We might as well, we're still in the positive at that point, right?
Yeah, they're saying it's up now, 18-24 on FanDuel, so even better.
Yeah, I don't hate that. Josh said it.
You know what they're doing? They're just putting it like this in front of our face. Here you go. We're gonna up the odds for you guys. Keep playing it.
The split decision for Charles is 700 as well. So I would be remiss if I didn't say that as well, because I do think that it is possible that it could be a split.
Yeah, Tim loves the splits. How could he not tell you a split? Let's move on here. Fight number 3. It is in the welterweight division. It is the 8-1 Trey Waters versus the 9-2 Billy Goff. Tim, we got a bunch of people in here now. We got Big Steve saying he's going to put you in a Euro trash gilly. We got Pepe going off the rails. What do you got here for this fight?
Well, I have a whisper bet. So I'm going to be quiet because I've heard that I speak too loud in my whisper bets. So we are going with Goff by sub, 17-1. Goff by sub in round 2, 48-1. Goff by sub in round 3, 50-1. Here's the idea. This guy is proactively grapples in fights. I think he might want to stand and bang in the beginning, but if it works for him, it'll continue. But to me, I feel like he's going to want to grapple. Like, he's fighting against a guy that's 7 inches taller than him and has a 5-inch reach advantage. It may be hard for him to get into range to strike. And then when you look at the Waters side, I there's a few things. First of all, he's got the hips of Rihanna, and he like legit cannot stop a double leg, an power double leg takedown. Like, he doesn't know what to do technically. As well as anybody that gets Von Flewed, to me, is like reeking of white belt. Like, I don't care if he's gotten subs before. Like, it doesn't, his offensive grappling, whatever. But his defensive grappling, for a guy to get Von Flewed, they have to be kind of idiotic. And they just don't know what they're doing. And he clearly, against Bonfim, did not know what the fuck he was doing. Didn't know when he should have been letting go of his hands. Didn't know when he should have been letting go of the guillotine. And then he just gets instantly Von Flewed. So to me, if you get Von Flewed, it's like, all right, that's a major red flag. I understand Goff has 0 subs. He hasn't been subbed himself. But the guy, I think his average, not in the UFC, but his average on going for takedowns is like over 4 per fight at like a 40% accuracy. So to me, I think that Goff could look to grapple here. And if he does, I think that it's possible that he gets a sub, and 17-1 just seems wild to me.
Yeah. I just probably a couple hours ago, I gave that play out to our Discord where I said, I didn't necessarily say sub, but I said round 3 Goff is 1,600. Sub 3 is 6,000 in some places. You can find it. I think that's a good look. 60-1 on a guy that, if you watch him in the fights that, that go a little deeper, he's grappling like a shit ton. He's getting the mount. He's the one thing I will say is he loves to fucking ground and pound for sure. He just loves. I mean, he doesn't have a sub, right? He's got a bunch of takedowns in all these fights, but he doesn't have a sub because he just wants to smash your face through the mat. But I do think Waters is tough. I kind of disagree with you on his takedown defense. I think it's pretty damn good, man. When you watch the Bennett fight, who's a good grappler, good wrestler, at elevation, yeah, he got taken down, but like he stuffed a lot of those fucking takedowns. And, he got cage pushed a bunch in that fight. But I don't I don't necessarily think his takedown defense is
It's
terrible.
not his takedown defense. It's his hips, and it's specifically like double legs. It's not like against the cage because he's so fucking tall. So that's where it's like really hard to get tall guys down and like single leg, and then they can spread their feet out, and then they can get a good base. It's when he's just standing in range boxing, and then somebody just shoots a double leg against him that he really doesn't know what to do. Specifically that.
I mean, overall is what I'm saying is I don't think his takedown defense is terrible, but yeah, I mean, he could get taken down for sure. Hence why I think the later the fight goes, I think as he tires out a little bit, because Goff, I don't even know if this fucking guy gets tired, to be honest. Watching some of these fights is like he's starting out the fight at 75 and he's ending it at 100. So it's like, holy shit, this guy has cardio. And he's one of those guys, kind of reminds me of, what's that fucking guy that does the hammer? I fucking forgot his name. That throws the hammer punch.
Oh,
the madman.
Yeah, the guy that just
Trevor Peek. Trevor Peek. Someone said in chat. He kind of reminds me of Trevor Peek, but a little bit more skill, obviously. Trevor Peek. I mean, what the fuck? But yeah, and I think his cardio is like it's a little better than Trevor Peek's because he's like balls to the wall the whole time.
He's got better rest.
Yeah, and so I mean, Goff round 3, 1600. I could see it. I do think Waters is tough, but honestly, the other thing I really like here is Goff decision. I think Waters is tough. I think Waters is durable. It's either gonna be, in my opinion, round 3 Goff, or this fight goes to decision, and I think Goff has the minute winning ability because of his grappling, right? He's got grappling, he's got wrestling, and he throws a lot of volume too on the feet. So the one thing he has to watch out for is he gets cracked a lot and hurt in fights. So Waters can crack. He's long. He's got a nice pull counter. I mean, the guy has decent striking, so he's got to be careful there. But I think he's going to close the distance like he normally does, like a madman, and probably work Waters in the clinch a bit, throw it up. And he digs to the body a lot. I mean, combo like 3, 4, 5 in a row to the body. So he might actually slow down Waters here. That's why I think round 3 is something to look at. And possibly decision. It's 5-1 on Goff decision. I think I truly think that's off, because if this fight hits, I
think both of their decision lines are off. Like, I think that I'm not saying that either one of these guys is like, they're not chinny, but I mean, they're like, there's a possibility just you get both are, I think, durable. Both can take shots, and I do think it could be a firefight, but I don't see either one of these guys like, oh man, really chinny. And then I also think that it like could be really close going to decision too. So if it goes, yeah,
we could be overrating Goff. I'm not saying Goff is skilled. It has nothing to do with his skill. It's his tenacity, his toughness, his cardio. I mean, skill doesn't. I mean, overrating. Those are facts. I'm not even overrating those things. Like, he has a lot of volume. He is crazy pace, and he has good cardio and toughness. I mean, that's, I think, facts from what, if you watch tape on him, that's what it is. But skill wise, yeah, of course, I think Trey Waters is way better striker. It's not.
Yeah, the concern is if he can't get his grappling going and he can't get into range, he could have his face jabbed off for 15.
Oh yeah,
clearly. All
right, let's move on. Fight number 4. It is in the strawweight division. It is the 9-2 Tabitha Ricci versus the 13-6 Tisa Torres. Another fight that, honestly, I don't like anything here. It's going to go to distance. I'm telling you right now, this fight is going to distance. I guess Ricci sub is the only thing I could possibly get to at plus 700. I just don't see it happening, though, to be honest. Torres knows how to defend subs. She was in fucking deep submissions against Dern, a Kimura, fucking a bunch of other shit, and she got out of them. She just knows what to do. She's strong. I don't think Ricci's going to get her, but I have to give you something on this fight. I don't like it. Plus 700 Ricci decision. I mean, Ricci submission. I think it's a decision. It's a close fight. And I wanted to give split, but split is plus 250 again. I'm not giving that garbage of a line. So, yeah, Tim, this one's yours.
Yeah, I'll give that garbage of a line because I think I think it's fucking gonna be split. Like honestly, I think it's horrible. It's 2.5 to 1. You could take a shot on either fighter, and it's around like 6 or 7 to 1. I kind of think like Torres. I mean, I know Torres is a better striker. Like I mean, just gonna pump out more volume. The problem is that she likes to use her kicks, and I think that could be the invitation to getting taken down. But this fight is just, I think this fight is going to be close. I think this fight is going to go to decision at like 99 times out of 100. And I just think that it's going to be razor close. Unless Tisha's completely washed and you have the baby narrative, which is clearly like a narrative that we've cashed on massively on this podcast. So yeah, I feel like this fight is really close. I feel like this is striker versus grappler. I think that, if Tisha can keep it on the feet, she might win a unanimous decision. But I'm not sure that she keeps it on the feet for the whole time. So yeah.
Yeah. Let's move on. Fight number 5. It is in the lightweight division. It is the 15-6 Terrence McKinney versus the 12-1 Esteban Ribovics. Timothy, you got another one.
Yeah, so this is an easy click. I think this is the simplest fight to break down on the card. Everybody knows what Terrence McKinney brings to the table. He's got 4 minutes of cardio, maybe 4.5 minutes of cardio. Goes absolutely full rabies mode every single fight except for one. And the one that he didn't go full rabies mode, he still death gassed in. So, and even was I don't know, it's not a quote, but he said after that fight, he's like, well, I'm not doing this shit anymore. So you know that you know what you're going to get out of him. He's going to go full rabies mode as soon as he can in this fight. He's going to go for takedowns. He's going to try to get the back of Ribovics. And I think he probably can, honestly. I think that the first round is going to be a little bit hairy. I actually hope that he gets him down and can do that and waste a little bit of time so that we can get the Ribovics round 2 and round 3. Because I just think that this is a system play that you have to do every single time you fight again. You have a fight with Terrence McKinney. I'm concerned that he could finish him in round 1, in the end of round 1, or even just connecting on him, getting in. So I'm a little bit worried about that. So that's why I kind of want Terrence to have some success early so that he can get him down, waste a little bit of time, maybe get a back take, and then waste the round, do some damage, don't get the choke, and then get killed in round 2, maybe round 3.
Yeah, you have to play Ribovics 2-3 here. Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people are saying overs and McKinney decision, and I mean, I listened to that interview, bro, and he was serious. He's like, I'm never fighting like this again. And that was after the Bonfim fight, and he hasn't. And when you watch the Bonfim fight, he gave himself no chance to win. I swear to God, he just gave himself no chance to win fighting like that. And I think he knew it. He fucking knew it. He said, people have been telling me, fight this, fight that. In that interview after, he's like, I can't fight like that. I don't know how to fight like that, And he doesn't. Look at his career. The guy does not know how to fight like that. So I don't see a world where this is extending very far. Ribovics digs to the body a lot as well, which is terrible for McKinney. Ribovics is extremely durable and tough, which is terrible for McKinney. Ribovics has very good cardio, which is terrible for McKinney. I think this is a terrible matchup, to be honest. Can Ribovics get taken down? Sure, he can get taken down. I don't think McKinney's subbing him. I know McKinney has strong, whatever. I don't think he's going to sub him. If he does, props to him. It's got to be very fucking early. Otherwise, maybe he just goes for broke very early and just balls to the wall for the sub and burn his arms out, whatever, try to fucking break his chin, whatever, squeeze as hard as he can, even if it's on the chin, just go for it. But I'm scared it's going to be end like the second half of round 1, honestly, Ribovics. But it's a system play for me. McKinney, he just gets deaded all the time when fights extend, and it's Nazim fight was terrible. So I'm going to take a shot here. Bonfim got him in round 2. He's been had in round 2. And Ribovics is a guy that I think can survive the early storm. He's 28. He's improving. He's at a good camp. They're going to know what McKinney's going to want to do. I think McKinney's striking is actually terrible, to be honest. It's not good. So maybe the only thing I'm really, really scared of for McKinney instead of the sub is him fucking head kicking or a flying knee or something. Some mean shit, because he can pull something like that off. He's athletic enough.
Yeah, he's just a chaos fighter.
Yeah, so I'm a little afraid of that, but I mean, this is a system play, like you said. So let's move on. Next fight number 6. It is in the lightweight division. It is the 13-3-1 Chase Hooper versus 7-3-1 Vyacheslav Borashev. This is my whisper bet, Tim. You had yours, and this one's mine. First off, I don't think this fight is going over 2.5 rounds. There's very hard for me to see how this fight goes over 2.5 rounds. If this fight hit the mat, Borashev's in big trouble. If this fight stays standing, Hooper's in big trouble. With that being said, I think Hooper, looking at the weigh-ins, I think he actually put on some muscle for once. He really did. Before it was a joke, but honestly, I could see him forming some muscle now. Can he take Slava down? I mean, Slava's takedown defense is very sketchy. The guys that have been taking him down are much more physical than Hooper, but Hooper's a lot trickier too. Hooper can jump on your back at any time standing, But Tim, and this is a big but, Slava on bottom gets destroyed even with ground and pound in a lot of these fights, right? He got busted open bad against Davis. Hooper loves to throw ground and pound. Now, it could be ground and pound, to open it up for a, sub, but it could also be fucking just straight ground and pound where Slava cannot move. He's got like his leg underneath in a full mount, and he just trapped him, and he just fucking raining elbows on him, right? My whisper bet is Chase Hooper by KO round 2, 3,300, and Chase Hooper KO round 3, 4,600. There's really a world where he can just absolutely tee off on him if he gets in full mount here. And he's done it before. He's done it more than once before. When you look at his history, he got Caceres out of there like that. He got Tamer out of there like that. He got this Sky guy out of there like that. And over, when he gets in position, he loves to throw ground and pound. Yeah, he is a submission guy, but he loves the ground and pound. So, yeah, man, those are insane numbers. They're big numbers. We saw Nazim almost finish Slava in that fight with ground and pound. So why can't Chase do it? So, yeah, 33 and 4,600, Tim. What do you have?
Yeah, those are huge lines. You got to love it. Got to love whisper bets here. I agree with you, man. This fight is like, to listen to people talk about this fight all week and just be like, they're giving like extremely strong takes on like which fighter is going to win. It's just, I'm not buying it, honestly. I think this is as coin flippy of a fight as you can get. And it's the most binary fight that we have in the card. Like, I just like standing, Chase just blocks punches with his face. Steve Garcia just murdered him and probably knocked him out like 3 times in that fight. Difference between Steve Garcia and Slava is, like, Steve Garcia is a good wrestler and he's physically strong. Like, there was zero chance that that Chase, whose wrestling is not that good, by the way, his wrestling is not great. Like, he pulls guard a lot of times and then reverses guys. He's not that great at setting up his takedowns. So I will say that, but I just don't think that you have to. I think that the guys that suck at, like, there's been guys that have sucked at wrestling that have gotten Slava down. Problem with Slava too, in my opinion, in this fight is when he gets taken down, if on failed attempts, he gives up his back, even on failed attempps. Like even when he makes so many grappling errors. So to me, it's more, again, and I think that this is a totally binary. Like I just don't. If you can't get him down, I think that he gets knocked out in the first couple rounds. But I do think that he's going to be able to get him down, and I do think I'm more in the early rounds. So it's not worth it for the sub versus the just going round 1 and round 2. Sub in itself, I would lean that it's that way, but I don't disagree with you that he does really good ground and pound, and he does get to really advantageous positions. And it seems like everybody in the world is mounting Slava. So for me, round 1 plus 600, round 2 plus 850, but I probably will take small stabs at yours as well, because we got to hit, we love hitting these whisper bets.
Yeah, this one I can't get to a money line. I just such a binary fight where I think Hooper can die at any point on the feet. And if it's the ground, I mean, that's Hooper's world. So yeah, let's move on. Fight number 7. It is in heavyweight division. It is the 11-1 Waldo or Cortez Acosta versus the 5-0 Robelis de Spain. This one's yours. Go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, everybody's trying to fade this Robelis guy because he's, so new to the game, and just like, Parisian was the guy to do it. I remember last time, like, doing the 60-second finish in 60 seconds at 3-1. And I was like, all right, yeah, we'll go with this one. Yeah, I mean, to me, it's kind of like Waldo Acosta is a guy that, I mean, historically isn't like KOing everybody, or really anybody. So is it going to be a situation where he's just going to volume up Robelis and not get knocked out? Because I think that's his path. I think if you're on him, we just don't know anything. We just have zero data on this Robelis guy. So like, it's tough to say that he's dog shit. He's not going to be able, all of his finishes are against scrubs, and they're all first round. They're all within a minute. It's like, we say this all the time. Like, it's not predictive data. We don't have any predictive data on him. Not yet. So I think that this is a good spot to get some predictive data. I mean, we'll see a guy who's historically durable at heavyweight in Waldo Acosta. We'll see how he deals with the striking. We'll see how he deals with the power. We'll see how he deals with all this stuff in the athleticism. I did see that dunk attempt by Robelis, and I thought that was pitiful. This guy's 6'7". He's laying the ball up. That's kind of bullshit. But so for me, it's Robelis round 2, round 3. I'm going to bank on a little bit of the, durability potentially for Waldo. And then I'm thinking that he eventually catches him in maybe even some cage push from Waldo could save us in round 1. And we had a fight. Who was the fight that we had a couple cards ago, or like last card? It was round. Yeah, this exact same fight. This exact same situation where, if Waldo grapples or if he cage pushes and delays at all, this could be just he bonks him in round 2, bonks him in round 3. Maybe Waldo can last, and then he catches him in 3. So plus 650, plus 1800. Not doing KO because it's 50 cents worse or 50 cents better. And that shit ain't worth it. I'm not saying he subs him, but I'm not taking that chance. So yeah, that's mine.
I'm just giving, round 2 for me too, 650. Just because of that, first step up in competition here. We saw Denise kind of fuck up in that round 1. We could see the same thing here where, this guy maybe gets grounded, maybe gets cage pushed. We saw him in one fight. He got cage pushed for like 3 minutes straight against some low-level heavyweight that didn't even look heavyweight, to be honest. So it could be where he gets cage pushed here and same shit, and the Spain KOs him in round 2. Capping service, good point. Yeah, Guskov, same thing. Remember Guskov fight? Round 2. Everybody thought he's round 1 or bust, and he got it in round 2. I think kind of same scenario here. Let's play against these juice to the gills round 1 props and hopefully with the step up, and maybe Ocosta fighting a little smarter, doesn't get bonked early, but eventually gets hit and gets finished. So round 2 for me as well, plus 650. Let's move on. Fight number 8. It is in the featherweight division. It is the 21-14 Alex Caceres versus the 11-1-1 Sean Woodson. This one's mine. I thought I was going to play Caceres money line, but instead I opted to play Caceres decision. He's been training at MMA Lab, which is a very, very good sign. This guy, I don't even know where Caceres trained before. He was training in some fucking weird ass gym with nobody, and he talks about how, he's kind of a weird dude. So now he's did this camp at MMA Lab. He looks sharp, and when you look at Caceres historically, his last 2 losses are to Giga and Sadiq Youssef. I mean, he's not losing to like bad fighters. He's beating all the other guys. He's beating Arosa. He's beating Pineda. He's beating Sungwoo Choi. He's beating all these guys. Kron Gracie got him in a sub, but I don't expect Sean Woodson to be Kron Gracie here. And I think this is striker versus striker. And if anybody's grappling here, it's probably Alex Caceres. He's an awkward guy. Sean Woodson has good boxing and everything, but it's going to be hard to deal with these fucking oblique kicks and all kinds of side kicks and this weird style back and forth, southpaw righty. He's never faced anybody like this guy. And for Sean Woodson to be minus 200 now, I honestly think this is like big time recency bias here. Like, this was a guy less than 2 years ago that got lucky and went to split against a draw against Luis Saldana, where the guy was landing at will. And Luis Saldana, say what you want, that guy's not UFC level, man. He's facing a guy now who's got a shit ton of experience. He's a smart fighter. He fights to his strengths, the karate style, very awkward, grappling edge in my opinion here. So his decision line is plus 350. I don't think Caceres. I think both these guys, first of all, are very, very durable. I don't think either guy is going to get finished. I think this fight goes to decision. And, from what I've seen, Woodson fights close, man. Very close. And Caceres, I just think, can do more here. He's got more variety to his game. And I think he can get a decision here at plus 350. What do you have here, Tim?
Yeah, the only I just would throw a correction. Like, it was a draw versus Saldana.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I thought you said split decision.
A point was taken. That's why. Yeah.
So to me, it's
Woodson in that fight. Woodson got dropped, almost finished, and then this Saldana guy kneed him while he was down, so he took out a point. Otherwise, Saldana wins.
Lost. Yeah, he would have lost. Yeah, that's a horrible look in this fight, and I just think that this is a razor thin margin type fight where I think both guys could have success. And this is a classic end split, plus 325. Caceres by split is 10-1. Caceres' major kryptonite in MMA is guys that can take him down. And then all 5 of his losses in the UFC are rear naked chokes. That's not going to be what Woodson does here. I don't see that happening at all. So like you said, if anybody's subbing anybody, or if anybody has finishing upside in this fight, it's like a standing back take to a rear naked choke or something like that from Caceres. I think the fight goes at a very high clip. I think that it's razor close margins, probably head strikes and boxing advantage for Woodson. But like you said, just kicks and just a variety of different strikes, maybe some bigger moments on the Caceres side. So plus 325. I wouldn't take Woodson by split because it's only 500, but Caceres split at 10-1 is not terrible.
All right. let's move on. Fight number 9. It is in the lightweight division. It is the 18-5 Diego Ferreira versus the 19-1 Matthias Rebecki. This one's yours, Tim.
So, Diego Ferreira is if this fight were like 3 years ago, this would be a bet on Ferreira. And he's shown to be a really good grappler. Fought one of my favorite fights and one of my favorite cashes ever was Gregor Gillespie against him, and he had him mounted. He was kind of kicking Gregor's ass in that fight until Gregor just does what he does and outlasted him and then fucked him up. So to me, I just think that that version of CDF is not what we're seeing now. I think against I had a tilting bet against Gamrot. I had sub, and I think I had the round 2 as well. And I was just like, he fucking takes him down, takes his back, takes his neck, and then knees him. And then he's like, my rib. And then they're like KO. And it was just like, oh, that fucking sucks. So to me, I just think that Rebecki is going to try to grapple here hard. His striking is kind of meh. He just throws a big overhand right to try to get in a range to take people down. His ground and pound is really solid. His jiu-jitsu is not great, but it's like kind of power jiu-jitsu. It's like just strength and athleticism and ground and pound setups and shit like that. It's not really like super processed at all. So I think the late round finishes for Rebecki are good. Plus 440 for round 2, plus 800 for round 3. I think he cooks late round here. I think it'll be hard to get the finish in round 1. I think that'll be also where Ferreira is doing his best defenses in grappling and his best work when he has some cardio and some gas. But I think eventually he gets broken.
Yeah, I mean, I like CDF. I think he's like a weasel, man. He's hard to hold down. He's a good scrambler. He just makes you work. But that was CDF, 2, 3, 4 years ago. This CDF after injury, he had an injury. He didn't look good against Michael Johnson. I mean, Michael Johnson was fucking landing on him at will. Even buzzed him one time, and eventually CDF got him. CDF threw that big overhand and knocked him out cold. But I mean, Michael Johnson at this point is also very old. Rebecki's not. He's 31. One thing about Rebecki is I will say is I think his power is underrated too, man. This guy has power in his hands, has power in his kicks. He's built like an absolute fucking tank. And, no one's finished Loic in his career except Rebecki, man. He absolutely butchered his legs. I don't want to see this guy kicking CDF's legs, bro. Like, I don't know what's going to happen to those old legs, honestly. If he hits him a couple of times. I mean, this guy throws everything. Inside leg kick, outside leg kick. He's swinging big fucking bombs on the feet. He can take CDF down. He's super strong. He's just built like a tank. And honestly, his chin is very good, man. I mean, Loic caught him with some huge shots, man. Uppercut, left hook. His chin is fucking fantastic as well. I kind of gave him a pass for the Fiore fight, his first UFC fight. He went for a finish. He adrenaline dumped. I don't really put too much stock in the first fight in the UFC. We see that over and over again where guys just don't look good in their first UFC fight. But after that, he's looked really good. I think he destroys CDF here, and CDF is a good fighter, but man, he's old, and I think he's gonna get smashed on the ground here. Honestly, normally he's not easy to keep down and stuff, but this guy is kind of, I don't want to say he's a Gregor Gillespie type of wrestling, but he's very fucking strong on top, and he will smash you. He'll try to crucifix you. He has subs, but I think he's looking more for ground and pound, man. He's looking to fucking kill you. So, and he can kill him on the feet, to be honest. So give me Rebecki round 2, 600. Rebecki KO 3, 1,000. Both of them are KO, sorry. I think he's going to knock him out, man. I don't think it's a sub. I don't think, I just think he's going to absolutely light him up either on the feet or ground and pound. I think he's going to finish him here. Moving on, fight number 10. It is in the light heavyweight division. It is the 15-3-1 Alonzo Menifield versus the 9-1 Carlos Ulberg. I like overs here. I like overs. I like fight goes. Yes, Ulberg has a lot of knockouts. Yes, he's had a ton of power. But he's been a decision 2 times. And the last fight was inches away from going to a decision against Dawoon Jung. Menifield, he's been hurt, yes. But I don't think he's chinny or anything. I think he's tough. He took some nice shots from Jacoby. He's taken some nice shots in a lot of fights. I know Ovince St. Preux killed him, but I do think the guy is tough. I do think the guy is pretty damn durable. And I think mostly of anything is I think both guys will respect each other's power, which will cause Ulberg to kind of be cautious on the outside, use his kickboxing because he's the much better striker, use his volume, use his kicks, and cruise to a decision, Tim, for Carlos Ulberg at plus 350. If you have Hard Rock, it's 350. Everywhere else is 320. Yeah, I think Carlos Ulberg wins here by decision. I guess it's a little bit of hot take. A lot of people love unders here, and somebody's going to get knocked out, but I think it goes.
It's so funny how often you and I are in the same hot takes on this. I totally agree. I think that for the exact same reasons, Ulberg by points. He doesn't seem like he likes getting hit. He's got that model face, and he doesn't want to get hit and destroy it, lose some money on the magazines and the photo shoots. He is a handsome devil, though. But yeah, I mean, I feel like I feel the same way. I just feel like Menifield for me is a fighter that is kind of tough to read. Like, he had huge moments against Jacoby, which won him that split decision. His second fight against Crute was impressive. His first one against Crute was not impressive. He lost a fight to William Knight. That is inexcusable. He lost a fight to Devin Clark, also inexcusable. So you just don't know what you're going to get with this dude. He can be solid, but he's just really inconsistent in my book. And I think like you said, I mean, like, if somebody's got grappling upside in this fight, it's probably Menifield. I don't think that Ulberg's going to grapple. And I don't think he's physically strong enough to grapple Menifield. And like you said, man, I just think that both guys are going to respect each other's power. Both guys do have power. I think it's going to be a smart technical fight where he tries to save his energy a little bit more from Ulberg and just kind of jab him and move and stick and move and just stay out of range and make it a very technical fight. That's his best path. So if he wants to give Menifield his path, he gets in close with him, allows him to take him down. He gets in close with him and gets into a firefight, gives it like a phone booth type fight. And I think that's just fucking stupid. I can't imagine him going that route. So yeah, I like the points at plus 340. I thought it would be lower.
Yeah, I kind of feel like similar to Jacoby fight, but I think Ulberg obviously has more finishing ability. But yeah, I kind of feel like
and better boxing.
Ulberg is also a bit better defensively, I think, than Jacoby. Jacoby gets hit a lot, and he got started there.
Jacoby uses his kicks so much and doesn't get credit for them very often. A lot of fights he kicks, and I don't think it's Ulberg's kicks that are the difference. I think his hands are better than Jacoby's. All
right, let's move on. It is the co-main event of the night, and it is in the welterweight division. It is the 18-6 Joaquin Buckley versus the 34-8-2 Nursultan Ruzoboyev. And this one is yours, Tim. This has been the Twitter battle, I think, this week. What do you have here?
This one are Slava versus Chase, right? I think that they're both kind of up there. Ironically, I think that this fight is a lot like the last fight on the Buckley side. And I think that Ruzibayev, I don't think that it's the same on the Ruzibayev side. So I think it's a very similar type of archetype fight for Buckley. If he's going out into this fight, his game plan should be, I need to potentially wrestle, potentially cage push, potentially grapple a little bit if the fight isn't going the way that I want on the feet. And then just try to outvolume this guy and just try to take his moments and stay away from the big shots of Ruzibayev and then win a decision. Respect his power early in the first 7 minutes or so, and then just outvolume him and outtire him and possibly even take him down. Like Ruzibayev is his subs, all of his subs are Kimura based, and a lot of people have been talking about this, with his subs that he goes for Kimuras. Like I don't see him Kimuring Buckley. He's just too fucking strong. Like I would be shocked if he gets anything close to that on him. So Buckley for me, I just think has the volume edge. He's got multiple paths to win. Ruzibayev is 2-6 in decisions, which kind of shows it's a big stat for me in this fight. It was like, how do these fighters do when they go to decision? What are their stats when they go to decision? And he doesn't seem to be like a guy that's winning minutes. He's winning moments, and he's expecting big shots to work for him. And, Buckley has been chinned before, but I mean, like one was a head kick, and I just feel like he's been fighting smarter recently. So yeah, give me Buckley by decision plus 400.
Yeah. I mean, this is one of my plays too. You know what's funny about this fight? I played Ruzibayev last time by KO against Dumas. Okay. The whole fucking world was on Cedric Dumas last fight. Everybody called Ruzibayev a bum. He's a terrible fighter, horrible takedown defense, this and that. And everybody was on Dumas last time. I remember it because the line kept shooting down. And I played Ruzibayev KO. And now, all of a sudden, he's facing a way better fighter than Cedric Dumas in Buckley. And everybody seems to be on Ruzibayev. Guys, make it make sense, man. Like, Buckley's a way better fighter than Dumas, but yet you guys were all playing Dumas. Dumas against Ruzibayev last time out. What the heck is this? Buckley, here's the thing with Ruzibayev. He's literally right hand or right uppercut dependent. That's all he does, guys. He's looking for one big shot. He cannot win minutes, in my opinion. He's not a minute winner. He has no grappling. He can't take Buckley down. Buckley can take him down. I think Buckley can take him down anytime he feels like it, to be honest. And that's the other thing. Look at this. People are, he's a clown. He doesn't. Guys, he plays into that. Of course he takes it serious. Look at this guy. Look at his Instagram. All he does is train, man. The guy only freaking trains. And Ruzibayev now down at 170 is a big dude. He's a massive guy. But he's a massive guy even at 185, though. He's 6'5". He's always going to have the reach and the size advantage over almost anybody in these divisions, right? His issue is that, for one, he doesn't move his head at all when it comes to striking, like zero. He's extremely tough. He's extremely durable. I'll give him that. He's a tough guy to get out of there. He's got big power in his right hand, and he's got big power in his uppercuts. But there's no kicking. There's no layer to this guy's striking, dude. He's no combos. He's not throwing 3-4 punch combinations at all on tape. None. He's always constantly looking for one big fucking shot. And Buckley is fighting smarter. Like you said, look at his fights. He's fighting smarter. He's bouncing on the outside. He's, coming in and out. He's using his wrestling. He's using his athleticism. His cardio is very good. It's like, to me, I don't understand all the love for Ruzibayev. To me, he's KO or bust. He is not winning a decision here, in my opinion. I don't see him as a minute winner type of fighter. When you look at his fights, he is not a minute winner. He's going to try to get you out of there. And if not, he's screwed. That's the end. That's the end of it. And so with that being said, he's faced decent guys in the regional scenes. I will give him that. But he's lost almost all of them. You know, he's losing decisions to all these decent guys, right? And I would say Joaquin Buckley is on the level with these decent guys. Now, can he get knocked out? Sure, he can get knocked out. I don't think he's chinny. I mean, everybody's saying he's chinny, this and that. Buckley is not chinny, man. I mean, go look at the Imavov fight and how much he landed on him there. He is not chinny. You know, getting knocked out by a head kick, anybody can get knocked out. Right cross from fucking Kevin Holland, he can knock anybody out, Kevin Holland. He hits like a truck. So it's like, okay, he can get knocked out by this guy because Ribovics hits very hard. I agree. But does that mean Ribovics is plus 120, 130, 115? Because he's going to for sure get a knockout all of a sudden? Did you guys watch the Dumas fight? Dumas took every one of his right hands that he landed on him, did not hurt him up until he eye poked him. Dumas turned away, and then he ate an uppercut. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know, man. I like Buckley here. Buckley decision 475. I love it. I think that's a great line on Hard Rock.
Okay, Hard Rock.
On Hard Rock. It's a great line, 475. I think Buckley wins here. I think, honestly, he wins comfortably here, to be honest. So,
yeah, dude, there's some people in the chat that are talking that Buckley doesn't wrestle. Like, dude, he went yeah, like it's invalid. It's a totally inaccurate take. Like he got 2 of 4 against Morono. He got 2 of 3
Fialho,
and he got fucking like 5 against Al Hassan. Dude, if you can wrestle Al Hassan, like you've got to be physically like
he didn't try.
He went 0 for 3 against Imavov because Imavov can defend a takedown. Like that's, I mean, Imavov had success wrestling him because he's a better wrestler.
I want to. Oh, that's a great point. Imavov fight, right? He gets lit up in round 1.
Yeah, he had to wrestle.
Round 2, go back and watch round 2. He starts getting to Imavov. He starts catching Imavov. You know how Imavov wins round 2? He gets a takedown, gets a back take and a body triangle, and wins that round. Guess what happens in round 3? Imavov is holding on for dear life, gets his ass kicked the whole round 3. And I will venture to say that Imavov is a much better overall fighter than fucking Ribovics is. It's not even fucking close.
It's not close. It would be a huge line against him. Grappling is just, it's tenfold times.
Maybe I'm going too hard on Buckley here, but I think, you know, Ribovics is KO or bust. If you're playing Ribovics, play as KO. Yeah, okay. He catches a kick and straight down the pipe. It could happen. Yeah, I agree with you. It could happen. And if Buckley hasn't learned from his mistake that he did there, yeah, it could definitely happen again. He did it against Ferreira. He caught the kick against Ferreira. But what percentage is that, man? Like what kind of percentage do we give you of catching a kick and knocking a guy out? 2%? Because that's about how often it happens. I mean, it doesn't happen very often. So we'll see. I mean, Ribovics is a good big puncher, but he's got no layers to his game, man. It's just big overhand right, big uppercut, has a lot of power, and that's frankly it, man. If you take him down, he's going for a Kimura. He's got no takedown defense, dude. Like, he gets taken down at will. So, yeah, I like Buckley here, honestly. I think, you know, Buckley at 170, he looks fucking fantastic. Like, very good cardio. He hasn't lost a round at 170 in his last 3 fights. Not a single round has he lost. So he's looked really good there. I'm not saying it's the best opposition. And that last fight was very, very sketchy against Luque. I don't know what the hell was going on there, but
yeah. Luque needs to retire. So this is what happened there.
We went long there. Time for the main event. Before we go on to the main event, please, 430 of you in here, please smash that like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I really appreciate it. That's all I ask. And if you're not part of my Discord, check it out. Link down below, $25 a month. Yeah, I mean, just for live betting in general, man. It's like somebody came in last week, he's crushed. He like went 15x just on live bets. It was crazy. But yeah, let's move on to the main event here. It is in the heavyweight division. It is the 27-12 Derek Lewis versus the 11-1 Rodrigo Nascimento. I will say something right off the jump, and I don't really put too much stock in this stuff. I think Nascimento was scared as shit in face-offs, man. The way he was acting, the way he turned away, the way he just didn't know what the fuck to do. And I'm like, oh my God, this guy's scared. And then they interviewed you, and he's like, watch it. Tomorrow I'm going to win. And he didn't even know what to say, bro. He was so shook. And I honestly think Derek Lewis shook this guy, man, big time. And what I'm going to say is I do think that this fight extends a bit because I think Nascimento's not going to want to engage. And if you don't want to engage with Lewis, he's kind of the guy that kind of sits back and does nothing. You know, if you kick him, he's just going to like sit there and clock is going to tick, 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 tick. He's going to wait to like try to catch you. And, you know, he's just that guy. So there also could be some cage pushing from Nascimento early, trying to get him down. I don't know if he's going to be successful, but I'm going to go with KO 2-3-4 here for Lewis. You got to search around. You can get their mixtures. There's 650 on MGM for KO2. There's KO3 at plus 1500. I think that's FanDuel. And then you can get KO4 somewhere else at 2800. That's how I would play it, honestly. I think Lewis is going to knock him out. It's not a matter of how, you know, it's a matter of when he's going to knock him out. I kind of think it's going to go over the first round just because I think Nascimento's not going to want to really get involved early and try to probably cage push. Like I said, he's probably trying to cage push, maybe get a takedown. But then Lewis, I think, is going to eventually catch this guy, and he just needs to catch him once, and I think he's going to put him to sleep. I mean, Daukaus put this guy to sleep. You don't want to get hit by Lewis. And, man, when he was doing his fist like this, bro, the size of his fist was the whole fucking face of Nascimento. I'm like, holy shit, does he have hammers? But, yeah, I mean, that's what I like here. Don't have a money line side. A lot of people are on Lewis. I just can't trust Lewis at juice, though, man. I really can't. There's no grappling. There's no volume. You know, you're dependent on a KO. Like, Lewis is not winning minutes, dude. This guy cannot win minutes. And the books are telling you that. I think his KO is like minus 140 and his money line's minus 160 or something. It's like, yeah, I get it. You don't play the KO, play the money line. But, yeah, I think Lewis knocks him out here 2-3-4. What do you got, Tim?
I think I'm not going to add very much. I think Lewis KOs him in 1, 2, or 3, but I'll probably take your 4 very small to just hedge it. I don't think this fight hits round 5. I mean, the Daukaus fight is all you need to see in this fight. I mean, like Daukaus absolutely destroying him on the feet, and I just don't think that there's any type there's 2 types of fighters that threaten Lewis and that beat Lewis. If you're the type of fighter that's durable and can throw bombs, he absolutely does not take damage well, and he will actually fight safe, and he won't necessarily get into the fire, and he won't be super aggressive. Other fighter is obviously a fighter that can absolutely grapple fuck, like Jailton Almeida. Who is the other? Who's that European dude that subbed him with the arm triangle? I forgot.
That's Lewis?
Yeah, sub Lewis.
What's his name? Spivak.
Yeah. So if you get guys like that are just I mean, I just don't think that Nascimento is that level grappler and that level wrestler in this fight. Like, I just don't see it. Like, if you're getting fighters that have that type of wrestling and that type of grappling and they're that dangerous, then yeah, they could fuck him up. But I just kind of feel like Derek Lewis, if he gets taken down in this fight, just is going to get up. Then he's not going to be held down in this fight. And I mean, I don't think he's threatened in this fight. So I think that he easily is going to go forward and be like, you're not going to hurt me striking. So I'm just going to maul you. And I think Derek Lewis kills him in the first 15 minutes. But like I said, I'll probably tailor your 28-1 really small just to kind of cover all edges.
All right. All 12 fights. Lambo parlay time, Tim. I will kick it off because I have a dinner to go to real quick after this. So I'm going to go with Buckley decision, Lewis KO 2-3. This is on FanDuel. And Rebecki KO 2-3. It's 100 to 1. That's where I'm going to go there. I think, I think Buckley wins this decision. I think Lewis gets him out of there in 2 and 3. And I think Rebecki gets him out of there in 2 and 3. So it's 100 to 1. Yeah, that's my Lambo parlay this week. Tim, what do you have this week?
I've got two, actually. I've got two good ones, I think. So I'll give them out both. I'll give them both out. First is round robin, Rebecki and Ribovics 2-3. So that'll be 4 bets. And then the 3-legger is Lewis KO, Buckley points, Ribovics 2, and then Lewis KO, Buckley points, Ribovics 3. So those are 60 to 1 and 138 to 1. And then the 2 3s with Rebecki and Ribovics are 34, 62, 83, and 143.
Wait, what? Lewis KO, Buckley points. What's the third one?
Ribovics round 2 in one of them, and then Ribovics round 3 in the other.
All right. Timothy giving us a bunch of Lambo parlays. Yeah, still 451 in here. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate you guys. Timothy, got anything going on tomorrow?
No, sir. I haven't heard from Sean, so if we do, we'll post something on Twitter.
So Sean's going to be doing the Discord tomorrow, the live betting, because I'm going to be at my nephew's graduation party, so I'm not going to be there tomorrow. But Tim will be there, Sean will be there, John will be there. So appreciate you guys. Thank you very, very much. Hit the like on the way out. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Appreciate my co-host here, Timothy Troiano, and I appreciate everybody in chat that was in here chatting it up. We love it. Yeah, one last thing, guys. Let's cash those tickets for UFC St. Louis. See y'all tomorrow. Peace.